SoundStripe. SoundStripe. SoundStripe.
Short, short. There you go. In and out. Short, short.
SoundStripe.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Second place ain't nowhere new. Second place ain't nowhere near. I want to welcome you all to the Bobby Dollaz Show. So today, man, we got a special guest, Brandon Rahbar. Brandon, I am a huge OKC Thunder fan, and I'm sure the world probably knows you are as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta let me put my notes down a little bit here. I got my notes up. I was kind of expecting to do a little audio. So anyway, like I was saying, man, we all know I'm a huge Thunder fan, and I got one of our quote unquote Thunder Woj bombs here, our Thunder Woj, Brandon Rahbar. Brandon, go ahead and tell everybody, you know, what you do, man, and who you are, and you know, what you love about the Thunder and everything.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on. And first off, I'm impressed that you got my name right. You said it correctly, which is, you know, a lot of people mess that up. So well done. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I write for dailythunder.com. It's really cool. It's the website that Royce Young, who's of course now with ESPN, he's a huge deal. He started dailythunder.com, and I now I've kind of got to, you know, I'm not comparing myself to Royce Young by any means, but I'm kind of doing what he used to do for dailythunder.com, you know, reporting on the Thunder via them. And it's been great. Like it's cool because Daily Thunder, it's, you know, we're media credentialed.
Yeah.
You know, so I get the media credentials. I get to sit in on all the calls and the press conferences and locker room access. So it's been really cool. But at the same time, it's not one of these like professional, you know, newspapers or TV stations or radio stations that has to be like unbiased. And so I get to be a fan and I get to be a professional. So it's kind of like best of both worlds. So it's been a really cool gig. So I write for them, I report on the team, and then I also host a podcast, the Daily Thunder podcast, and then I also do the Daily Crossbolts videos on Twitter. So it's a really cool gig, man. I've loved covering the Thunder.
Yeah, man. Hey, I follow you guys, man. I see a lot of your videos you do with Olivia, and believe me, man, I'm always with Thunder Nation, you know, with the Blue. You know, of course, I am myself a Blue Alliance captain, you know, brand ambassador here in St. Louis. So I'm kind of feeling where you at, man, you know, and I love it, man. Like, I'm absolutely ecstatic simply because of the fact that we share that same interest, you know. I love the squad so much, not just the player in particular, but like a franchise, like the whole thing, the shebang, man. It ain't just one player and we weeping and sad because he left and went somewhere else. It's like we love the entire franchise, from the trainers and the coaches to the players to, you know. I love that about the whole deal, man. It's something kind of fascinating to me.
Yeah, I echo those same thoughts, man. It really is, you know, when Russell Westbrook left, you know, you're alluding to him, you know, because everybody that was a Thunder fan loved Russell Westbrook. I mean, he bled Thunder blue, and you know, Thunder fans, you know, would have gone to war for him. I mean, they still would. They still would.
They'll do on Twitter every day.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I was, you know, I knew how I felt about the Thunder, regardless of whether Russ was going to be there or not. But I was curious to see, you know, how many fans were like, oh, we don't have Russ anymore. But man, this season has been proof positive that the fans are in love with this franchise, with this organization, with this team, because regardless of who's there, You know, it's all about that OKC that's on the
man.
jersey.
That Thunder pride, you know.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man, so okay, so all right, Brandon, enough of the pillow talk. All right. Okay, so today was the day. All right. I mean, like if I could toot some horns and hello, everybody in the back, everybody pay attention. The Thunder played today. Like this was awesome, man. Like I lost my mind today. I think I had 3 heart attacks. And then I came back to and the game was on, you know. Like, man, so like tell me, man, like how did it feel today actually getting an opportunity to see the squad play ball?
Oh man, it was fun. Like, first of all, you know, just having sports back, you know, during this whole pandemic, now they don't do anything, you know, just being stuck at home without any new movies, without any sports, no basketball, no football, like, you know, but, you know, if you're a Thunder fan, you know, you love this team. Man. And so, you know, you've missed this team. And especially this particular version of this team has been so fun. You know, nobody had any expectations going to the season. And it felt like they got cut off right when they were at their peak. You know, they're really hitting the rhythm, and we're in this great, you know, place, and it got cut short. So 4 months later, season comes back on, and it's like they never left. I mean, like, you know,
right?
everybody looked good. I mean, they looked mid-season form. You know, there's a little bit of rust from a couple players here and there. But I think this was as good a return as you could ask for. It was exciting. It was fun. And just to see all those guys back on the court and playing ball again. I mean, the fan side of me, you know, is just loving it. But then the media side of me also was loving it. I mean, because there's storylines galore. So, you know, I loved it from both sides.
That's awesome, man. That was awesome. I mean, like, how did you feel like when you seen Dre get off that bench and pull that jersey off? Like, I fell in love with the whole situation. It's storybook, it's fairy tale, but at the same time, man, I was kind of disappointed that Russ wasn't out there to like pat him on the back or punch him in the side of the arm or something, you know, because he finally back. But you know, I hate Russ gone, man. It eats me up on the inside. But like you said, we do have an absolutely fascinating new team. And it's a breath of fresh air, man. Like it's so energetic. Like the energy is through the roof now. And bringing Dre back, oh man, that like screwed all of the pieces into the puzzle, and it can fall over, whatever, and none of those pieces are coming apart. I like it, man. I love it.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. I think it really is like a storybook, you know, ending to the season, kind of regardless what happens from here on out. You know, this Thunder team had no expectations. Nobody thought that they would make the playoffs, and here they are. They're in the 5 seed right now. They can move up. And, you know, so to me, the rest of the season was just kind of gravy anyways, because they'd already made the playoffs. They'd already defied expectations. And now you got Andre Robertson, who's been gone for 2.5 years and wouldn't have been able to play had the season continued on like it was supposed to. But now he's back. And not only is he back, but he looks great.
It was like the perfect fit, Brandon. Like it was like the perfect fit. Like it was a smooth transition. It was absolutely seamless.
Yeah.
It was absolutely seamless.
It really was. And I think you said, you know, it's funny because I just, right before I hopped on this, I did a Daily Thunder podcast, and I said the same thing. I was like, the only thing that was missing to make it perfect would have been if this was in Oklahoma City, so the home crowd could have cheered him on, and if Russell Westbrook would have been, you know, there on the sidelines or, you know, on the team or on the other opposing sidelines or playing the Rockets to cheer him on and to pat him up. But other than that, I mean, they're in Disney World where, you know, dreams are supposed to come true. And here we got this, you know, storybook ending. I'm happy for Dre as a person because, you know, getting to, you know, see him up close and personal. He's just one of the genuinely nicest guys you'll meet, and definitely one of the most humble, down-to-earth athletes you'll ever meet. And he you just couldn't ask to happen to a better guy to get this. Everybody thought his career was done. And for him to come back and not only play, but play really, really well, and looks like he's going to be an X factor for the Thunder.
Oh my God, Brandon! Do you know they would still be cleaning up the pieces and putting the roof back together in Loud City right now?
Oh, that's the truth.
He'd have hit that 3, man.
Oh yeah.
My God, it'd just been nuts inside of Chesapeake Arena, man.
That is absolutely the truth. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Dre. I'm excited for this Thunder team. But yeah. You know, a lot of people looked really good tonight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to me, looked like the best player on the court for either team. Steven Adams completely dominated. The Celtics couldn't do anything to stop Adams. Gallo, of course, is hitting, 3-pointers like he does.
Right.
Dort, Schroeder, everybody looked good. Chris Paul looked a little bit rusty as far as the shooting goes, but I mean, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That was no big deal. But he was still finding guys. He was still setting plays up and, all those things. But regardless of all that, to me, the storyline was definitely, like you said, Andre Robertson's return.
Man, it was nice. It was comforting, man. Like, to be absolutely honest with you, it was like that cousin that, you seen play so well all his life, and then something happens, and now they're finally back, and it's just like, oh wow, like Jason Street, from Friday Night Lights.
That's right.
Like it was crazy, man, and you got to be a real Thunder fan to appreciate that, though.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You got to be a real fan to really appreciate what Fly Dre does for our squad.
For sure. I love that you're in St. Louis, by the way, and heading up the Blue Alliance up there. That's cool, man.
Man, it's just love, man. It's always love, man. Like I'll be 43 next month, man, and I never really had a favorite basketball team or anything like that. Like, I'm from the 90s basketball era. I grew up watching the Showtime Lakers with my mom. She's still a Laker and a Cowboys fanatic. My football was always Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly and all these guys with the Bills until Randall Cunningham came out and went to the Eagles, and I've been a diehard Eagles fan since then. And when you live in St. Louis, it's only two teams, the Chicago Bulls or the LA Lakers. You know what I'm saying? And I just couldn't do either one.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah.
So after Jordan left, that 90s era of basketball kind of left with him.
Yep.
And as Kobe evolved and everything the game started to change and everything, that's when I kind of migrated. Like I actually started liking OKC, and I tell this story all the time. I actually started liking OKC because of Nina Westbrook, or Nina Earl.
Really?
Yeah, she played for UCLA. And
yep.
I was a huge college fan for girls. Like, I used to be real big on Tennessee and UConn. I used to love those matchups, man. And I watched her play one day, and I kind of followed her. And one day I remember seeing a guy in the audience, like in the bleachers, just going crazy and jumping up and down and all kinds of stuff. She was snatching down rebounds, and it was Russ.
That's awesome.
It was
that sounds like Russ.
So after I kind of watched that, I kind of followed him, and it just kind of evolved from there, man. I wasn't even like a Kevin Durant fan when he was in Texas and all of that. It was like me liking Nina Earl, who became Nina Westbrook, who, where Russell Westbrook's love showed in, and he came from UCLA to OKC, and I came with him.
Man, that is a cool story. That's a cool reason. And here you are, now you're a huge fan, and you stayed with them even when Russ and Nina are in Houston. I that's great. That's a great story.
Yeah, man. It's just like I said, it's all love, man. I got an opportunity to hang out down there. I'm coming back to OKC a couple more times, and I want to hang out with everybody, man. I want to enjoy the time. It's
for sure.
It's all love, Brandon. It really is, man.
For sure. Hopefully next time you come down, fans will be able to go in the stands. You'll be able to see a game at the arena.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because the last time the game I saw, my only game I ever saw was a playoff game against Portland. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, and that was last year. They the Blue Alliance had sent me tickets and was like, "Can you get down here tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way."
I'll find a way.
I called in to work. My wife called in, and we just hit the highway, man. We was gone.
That's awesome. So was that the one that they won or lost?
We actually won that game, and then
that's good. Then
we went to Portland and we lost the next day.
Right. Well, at least you got to see a W though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. They took us in and let us see the stadium. I got videos and stuff I put up a while back on my Twitter page, but it was really awesome, man. I met all the execs and got an executive pin from one of the guys in the corporate offices and everything. And
that's cool.
I met a whole lot of people because I'm more of a business kind of guy. I own a business or two myself, so
okay.
I love, like I said, I love the team, I love the players, but I'm more of a business-oriented guy, so that's why I love the organization so much because it's so well ran.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. It's it's such a classy organization. The way that they treat the staff, the players, the fans, you know, the arena workers, like from the top down, they just try to fill it with classy, high character, good people. And that's the team too. Everybody that they bring in on the team, you know, they're all high class guys. And the ones that, you know, you think you have a reputation for not being high class guys, like, oh, say like a Dion Waiters and an Ennis Cantor and those kind of guys that had a different kind of reputation when they came to the Thunder, all of a sudden they come to the Thunder. And, you know, even Chris Paul, you know, when he was with the Rockets and Clippers, people kind of thought he was one way. And now he's with the Thunder. And, you know, I think it speaks to the culture that's been developed. And, you know, over the years, you know, from guys like Presti to Russell Westbrook and Nick Collison and all these guys that have been through, you know, and then I think of like role player guys who had a big impact on the organization just through how high class, good character people were. They were like Royal Ivy, guys like this have just been, you know, they're very, very, smart about who they bring in because it's always going to be high culture guys.
Yeah, I like that. It's more of a family oriented development process. You know, like you can develop, but when you develop with the family, you learn way more. Like I always say in the world of business, like it's okay to be a people person because when you're a people person, you learn from everybody else's mistakes. So,
nice.
You know, that's kind of how you grow.
Good.
That's how you evolve. You know, that's how you develop. So that's one of my little things, man, and one of my little niches. And, you know, that's why I fell in love with the whole situation of OKC being a franchise. They're well ran, you know, they're overpopulated with people that love what they do. And that's what's important. You know?
Absolutely. And it's great too, because look who, you know, once Chris Paul, whether he, you know, I don't know how much longer he'll play at Oklahoma City or in the NBA because he's 35, but once, you know, the reins get handed over to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you know, he's going to be the next face of the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
And that kid is classy as can be. And he's super sharp and he's all about the culture and all about work ethic and all those things. So, I mean, it's in good hands for, you know, the next 10 years, you know, with Shai.
Man, Sam Presti is an absolute genius. He knew exactly what he was doing. And that's what you love about a person like Sam, man. It isn't cold. It isn't calculated. It's just business. And when you move like that, when you can move accordingly, you know, the only thing you can do is get better. You know, like that's all I see happening with the franchise. And before you know it, we will actually wind up with the ring. I really think we're going to win this year. I don't see either of the LAs coming out of this, you know, unscathed. I really don't, because it's too, like, the world is too populated around them. Like,
I hope you're right.
I mean, focus is on them, you know.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point. And, you know, with this season being all kind of, you know, weird anyways, you know, an underdog could emerge, and the Thunder kind of had that perfect chemistry and work ethic and that mix of talent and depth that could shock some people. And you know, something that people don't talk about a whole lot, I mean, their clutch ability, the way that they can win games in the clutch, that's huge in the playoffs. I mean, they're the most clutch team in the league, and the playoffs are filled with really, really close games.
Oh, yeah. And I'm ready for it.
I'm
ready for it. I'm waiting, man. I'm ready for it because I absolutely believe that OKC is going to end up in the WCF. The way I'm seeing it right now in the back of my head is it's going to be OKC versus Houston.
Nice.
I see some upsets in there, man, but people just don't want to hear the truth, but I really see some upsets in there simply because I just don't think people are going to take this as serious, you know, with all the social activity going on and with the civil unrest and then the COVID situation. Like, everybody's mind is going 47 directions at once.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
So nobody's really taking it as serious as they could, and I really think that OKC is fluent. They're fluid, man. They're gelling. They're moving together. I mean, today they really look like they never stopped playing basketball. Yeah,
it was amazing. I really expected some sort of rust or, you know, a lot of preseason game type of play, but they really didn't look that way. They looked like they were mid-season form. It was pretty remarkable how on point they were. And I hope you're right. Another thing is if Dre really is back, like he looks like he's back, the Thunder just got an X factor, that a guy that they can throw on LeBron or Kawhi, Paul George, Harden, Russ. I mean, Dre's that guy. Even if he's only 90% of himself, that's still a really good defender to throw on those guys. And he's added some beef too.
I absolutely agree with that. And it's like, to me, I feel like if you keep Dre on the second team with Dennis Schroeder, it's like creating a second starting five.
Yeah.
If you put that vet leadership on the second team, and not only is he a vet leader, but someone that clamps on defense, like you just said, against a Kawhi or a Paul George or LeBron, that's awesome, man, because you got Lou Dort who's going to do the exact same thing as a starter. So it's like Lou Dort is bringing the energy, and he's bringing the physicalness, and he's wearing them down. And then you got Dre out there who's finessing and using his brain 120%. I mean, like, how can you sustain 48 minutes of being physical and mentally wore down?
Yeah, if the Thunder have Schroeder, Dre, and Noel coming off the bench, that's three guys who are starter-worthy players coming off the bench. Man, that's a huge advantage to have.
Man, and I agree with you. And it's funny because I'm looking at my notes, and right here in my notes it says, I was excited to finally see the squad back to business. I'm real high on Dort, Dennis, and Noel. I think they're going to continue to be big game changers for us. And
nice.
That's the absolute truth. It really is, man. We're on the same page, Brandon.
Jesus
Christ, man. Hey, that's cool, man. I like that because Dort, I've been saying since he came out of Arizona State, when he didn't get picked up, I said whoever winds up picking up that little point guard, because he played point more so than shooting guard at Arizona State. I said whoever picks him up has got a hidden gem, and that's going to be that rose in the concrete that everybody's going to be watching and paying attention to. And just so happens Sam Presti.
Nice.
He must have been he had a microphone in my room, man.
he must listen to this podcast.
Something was going on, man, because he picked him up, and I said it back in October. I was like, Dort is a hidden gem and he's lethal. And nobody paid me any attention, man, but here we are.
Yeah, you nailed that. You absolutely nailed that. Yeah, he's exciting. The Thunder have a lot of young guys between Shea, Dort, and Baisley. They've got three young guys, all first or second year, that the future you just feel like is in really good hands, because their ceiling, we don't even know what their ceiling is going to be yet. Right. And they've all exceeded expectations so far, which is really exciting. Plus, I got like 400 first-round draft picks coming up as well.
Man, Sam got those tucked in his top drawer with his socks and tank tops, man.
That's right.
He got so many draft picks. It's crazy. But I like that, though. I like that in him, man, because all that is just basically a cushion. Like that's his parachute. You can jump from any height you want. You can jump. You got the parachute, and that's awesome. That's the way to play the game. That's why I say Sam Presti's a genius, man. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I wouldn't doubt if at some point LaMelo and LiAngelo Ball gets tossed around up in OKC a little bit too.
Yeah, LiAngelo is already playing with the Blues. So, I mean, they've already got one foot in the door. And I'm sure Presti would love to somehow snatch LaMelo. He's going to be one of the top picks in this upcoming draft. But if Presti wants him, he's got enough juice to get up and get him with all those draft picks.
Yeah, and honestly, man, he would be the perfect number one pick because he can play the 1, 2, or the 3. He has the height and the length for the 3. He has the durability for the 2, and he has the court vision for point guard. So it's like, damn, why wouldn't we want this guy, to be able to transition from the bench or from a starting position into 3 different spots? And he can shoot the ball. Like, oh man, like that's pretty cool.
Oh man, I mean, I'm with Shea and LaMelo would be an incredible 1-2 punch at point and shooting guard. That'd be That'd be a next fun decade if they somehow were able to snag him.
Man, I might become a season ticket holder.
That's a lot of miles.
You know, I had to move to OKC for a season, man, because oh, that would be something. That would be awesome, man. Well, you know, Brandon, hey, I want to thank you so much, man, for being a part of my little journey here and spending some time with me today.
For sure.
You've been an awesome guest, man. I'm always checking out the Daily Thunder. I'm always checking out you and Olivia's videos. You know, I kind of keep posted. And like I said, man, since Woj took a step on the wild side last week, we've been depending on you, man, and you've been coming through for us. So this is absolutely awesome. And I really appreciate your time, man.
Hey, no problem at all. I appreciate all those kind words, and I appreciate the support. And keep doing what you're doing. You're a great host, and I'll be sure to check out this podcast later on and let me know when it's up so I can tweet it out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm real raw and uncut. Like my show, man, I do all kinds of different stuff on here. We talk about all kinds of topics, everything except for religion and politics. I'm just not. I'm too young for that kind of stuff. So
you sound like me. Those are the things I stay away from. Yeah. You notice my Twitter feed. I never talk about politics at all. Stay away from it.
I always do. I might have an earful for my wife to sit and listen to, but I never, you know. So go ahead and tell them how they can find you, Brandon, man, and we'll go ahead and get on out of here.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at Brandon, and then the last name is Rahbar, Rahbar. And you can find all my work at dailythunder.com. Appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, too. And to all my listeners, man, check us out. And, again, tune in, man. Hey, it's the big homie, man. And thanks again for checking in with Bobby Dollaz, the Bobby Dollaz Show.